All right, we'll wait. I just gotta figure out some stuff, make sure I am live in different places. Still says that I'm offline on Rumble, so I don't know if that's gonna work. Oh wait, maybe we're good. Hold up. Hold up. Nope, two ads. Hold up. Oh, we are good. We're good over there on Rumble. I don't know if we're good on Kick. It doesn't look like it. It says we're offline. On Twitch, we are live. So we have the stream manager here. We're good. On X, we are also. Are we live? I don't think so. Oh, there we go. We are. Okay. So we're good on that. We're just not live on Kick. So I don't know why that didn't take, but okay. So make sure you guys hit that like button as soon as you get in here. Hit that notification bell for more of these videos as well as the live streams and just conversations and all that stuff. Feel free to check out some of the other links that are down there as well. I also have a link in the chat for Margex if you guys want to trade on Margex. Make sure you hit that like button because we got one like. We got 31 people that are here. Hey Matt, greetings from Australia. Thank you for watching. Are you watching the Olympics? You have a couple of swimmers that took gold. I think one or two swimmers that took gold. Love your name, Matthew Perry. I mean, thank you. I appreciate it. Um, my parents named me, so hey, what's going on, Daniel? But yeah, the market today, if I wanted to go into the market, while we give people a chance to kind of get in here and get settled, the market today is slightly down. We're honestly not seeing a crazy amount of volume right now. The volume is a little bit low, 63 billion. That's a lot of volume when you look at it, fresh eyes going into crypto. But if you understood what the high point of crypto volume is, you see hundreds of billions of dollars. So down 18% over the last 24 hours. We're seeing that the overall market is down by about 0.6%, and an overall, $2.38 trillion market cap. The Bitcoin dominance is still up in the 55% range. So obviously, we are still not in altcoin season. We expected to see maybe a little bit more hype and attention behind things like Ethereum and altcoins, honestly, once you saw the Ethereum ETF go live. However, we're seeing still Bitcoin remain as dominant, as it was, if not more dominant than where it was. But currently around the 55% level, Bitcoin is around $66,000 per coin. Ethereum is at $3,300. BNB is around 600. Solana took a little bit of a hit from where it was at 191, 192, down to 181 or 182. But you're seeing XRP that's up to about 65 cents, which is great. Obviously not at the highest level that it has been, but it's great to see it up at these levels, especially while the rest of the market is kind of struggling a little bit. You're seeing Dogecoin that's down by 3.6%, Tron that's down by 3%, Avalanche is down by about 3.5%. Sorry. And then Bitcoin Cash, 3%. Let's look at some of the bigger movers in the market. In the top 100, Caspa is up above 20 cents, so that's great to see. My Caspa should be worth somewhere around $2,000 now, which is fantastic. You have Mog coin that's up by 2.7%, Ton that's up by 2.6%, XRP that's up by 1.9, almost 2% here. So seeing that this is up, and it's not up a crazy amount, it's not exploding by any means, but seeing that it's up this much compared to the rest of the market is a great thing, right? You see Beam is up by about 1.6%. Honestly, I would like to have more of that. Solana slightly up as well, and then you see a lot of things that are down. So what are the biggest losers in the day in the top 100? You have PopCat down by 7.5%. Athena that's down by a little bit over that, 7.7%. Book of Meme that's down by 7% after seeing a little bit of an increase recently. Also, Jasmine Coin saw a little bit of an increase and now it's down below the 3 cent mark. Brett is also down by 6%, Thorchain 6%. So we're seeing a lot of things that are dropping quite a bit, and it's more of a bloodbath than it is, just a green market. But that's where things stand right now. Let's see. Happy to give me likes. Just don't weather friend shirt again, or don't like wear. You're saying don't wear friend shirt again. I'll wear friend shirt as many. I don't even know where my friend shirt is. Oh wait, the friend shirt that I wore like 2 days ago or yesterday or something. Yeah, I have the regular like friend shirt with the logo there, but then I have a better friend shirt which I don't know where it is. It might just be gone. I used to wear that all the time. Matt, you seriously should take a look at Stellar XLM. It's very similar to XRP, and XLM founder is the co-founder of Ripple. I'm not saying that I haven't looked into XLM. I have. I'm just a bigger supporter of XRP as a whole. It doesn't mean that I'm not a supporter of XLM. I just don't have any. I've looked into it, multiple times. Um, hey, we're at 65 cents for XRP, and we're also at 65 viewers for people that are in here. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button and get more likes in here. We should have about 30 likes right now because we have 65 people that are here. Last night was crazy. Let's get rich. Last night, I mean, I can't say. I don't know what you define as crazy or why you're saying it's crazy, whether it dropped a lot for you or things have increased a lot for you, because XRP is looking really good, but everything else is not really looking that great. Cass is looking good, yes. Cass is on a price discovery. We see that. Good morning, Matt and viewers. I wish I could join you guys for the duration this morning, but I'm on my way to work. It's nice to see you today, Matt, as always. Well, thank you, Mom to the Max, and enjoy enjoy working. Some people love their job, and hopefully you love what you're doing. But yeah, enjoy your travels to work as well as working. Make it the best you can. We have 65 people watching. Please hit that like button. Yes, retired life. Thank you for saying that. um, 20,000 XLM goal is 100,000. Okay. I trust in XRP. XDC will skyrocket. Crazy good. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good to see. Hi, bro. Greetings from the Netherlands. Thank you for watching, for showing up this morning during this live stream. I know it's not typical for me to drop a live stream on you guys. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. I wish I was more consistent, but with the kids home, um, it's very difficult to even like spend any time to get any videos done or live stream, especially spending an hour plus down here away from them. They're sleeping right now. Um, and I got back from the gym a little bit earlier. So 2 years of following you. Need a shout out. Well, thank you. Is it Toby? Thank you for watching for as long as you have. There it's crazy to me to think that people have been watching my channel, and I hope that you've had success in the markets, because my what I want to do is just give you guys the opportunity to get introduced to the market. And it's not about you guys following me. It's not about you guys making money alongside of the trades that I'm doing. It's about you guys making your own decision and getting introduced to the market, because this is where all of the money is made, right? If you make your money in whatever work you do, you invest it and it turns into more money. Not only are you working for your money, but now that you worked for your money, you're making your money work for you, right? That's kind of the mindset that I want everybody to have, is why aren't you investing? And I know the way that you see it, some people see it where they don't really have a lot of money, so whenever they see money in their account, they want to use it, right? But if you just stack up that money that you are not currently using and don't buy all the things that you want to buy all the things that you need to buy, that money now turns into an employee for you. And that's kind of what I want to preach. It's not about you guys following every single investment that I have. It's about you making your own investments, whether that's in crypto, whether that's in the stock market, whether you're dividend investing, you're long-term investing, you have a Roth IRA, 401k, it doesn't matter. You guys need to understand that portion of it. And you're here because of that. Like, you understand at least to that level. I've had a cough for the last, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe. Um, what are security risks in Coinbase if XRP goes up crazy? Um, Honestly, I don't really see major security risks. The risks that I have, I guess you can look at it. You can say, um, XRP, if it gets to a, or when it gets to a higher price, and when it starts to, you know, skyrocket, as some people will put it, or have these God candles, um, maybe people that are withdrawing money or selling it at those times, you might have a little bit of an issue of pulling out money, because you can only pull out a certain amount over a given month, um, or over a given day, and maybe that will be the limitation. Also, if there's too much activity, we've seen it to where not trading has been paused, but it's been difficult to send through trades, and Coinbase has crashed a little bit. Um, but I don't think we're gonna have it. It's not something where it's like a meme coin, where meme coins, if you see a skyrocket price up to $1, right? That's the level that people want to sell at. That's what you will see, and you wanna sell at that level because you know that people are going to sell on you, right? It's not about the longevity of it. It's not about the use case in the long run. XRP is a different story. It's not about it just skyrocketing. It's also about it maintaining these prices because of the fact that we're utilizing it. um, when do you think we will hit a dollar, broski? Um, Honestly, I think right now it's all about the speculation behind whether we're going to have a true resolution, true conclusion to this case. And people are hopeful, right? We have the next couple of months where some people are saying in August or September that we may see the conclusion of that case. And that's why we're seeing it gradually go up, even though it's not necessarily skyrocketing or exploding, it's gradually going up. But what we want to do is break through that 70, 75 cent barrier before we can start to kind of really understand where that level of a dollar will be. So my prediction in the um, next couple of months, at maximum, the next month, in August, obviously at minimum. So I'm not rushing it, because I really don't care if it gets to, or when it gets to $1. Obviously, we want to look at those milestones and look at those levels, and understand when they're going to get there. But does it truly matter to me if I am primarily long term in this play? No, it doesn't. But if you are short term and you want to sell at a level of $1, And obviously you care more about that getting to a level of a dollar than I do. So, um, short answer is I don't truly know. Um, but I would assume that we're going to say in the next month or two that we should see it break a level of a dollar and, honestly increase over that. 86 people that are watching. Everyone hit the like button. He he takes his time to keep everyone with this news. Well, I appreciate that. I try to. It's difficult for me to even keep up with the news sometimes. I try to sit there and do that, but yeah. I started following you when Terra Luna collapsed. That was my crypto entry point. Oh, so exactly when it collapsed, like at the low. That's um, that's amazing. I mean, if anybody was able to invest a major amount into Terra Luna Classic at the lowest point, obviously you made a ton of money. I still have my Terra Luna Classic that's here. I made $4,800 in profit, and I'm still up, another like 4,000 some odd dollars as the time of recording this live stream, or not recording it, or doing this live stream. We're live right now. um, Invest your money. Don't trade 100x. I just saw your first link. Yeah, I mean, it depends. So I've traded 100x leverage 5 times. I've been profitable in three of them. And not just profitable. We're talking about thousands of percent. Now, the other two, I also lost everything that I put in there, which was $10. Typically, I will do a 100x or 50x leverage when the market collapses a major amount and I see a certain level that will be a support level and I see it hit that support level. I will throw $10 here, $10 there, $10 here, and throw it at a 50x leverage or 100x leverage. And that's where I will make that move. I will never invest 100x leverage on just a whim, right? Where you see it go down a little bit, and you know that if it loses 1%, especially in the crypto market, it's very volatile, right? If it loses 1%, you lose everything that you invested. I'm not going to put $1,000 and invest at a 100x leverage. The max that I think I've ever put is $60, and that was in something that I honestly um, couldn't convert, because you have certain things that you can convert in Margex. Um, but majority of my leverage trades are 5x leverage or 10x leverage. Um, I try to stay at 5x leverages, and that's what you see over here. And some of them don't play out or don't pay out the well, or the way that I think that it's going to. So, like for my Margex positions, here they are. Um, I have a couple of them that I just put through that are negative. I just put through these on the 29th, 2 days ago. I put this one through on the 31st. Just today, I put $200 on AVAX at a level of $26.23. I have AVAX play at $28. I feel like this is and that's a 10x leverage. I didn't think that it was going to decrease by that much, which is actually down by 84% there. And that was only like 20 something dollars that I put in there. This is $200. So then you see here is a 50x leverage that I put in at a very low point, or sorry, 50x leverage I put in at a very low point for XRP at 40 cents, and it's up 3,000%. Right? I put in another 50x leverage on Jasmine Coin at a level of 1.5 cents. It's up to 3 cents, which I'm up $1,000. And that's on an 18 Matic investment, which is less than $18. So, yes, leverage trading is very risky, but if you know what you're doing, you can make a crap ton of money. It's just you have to know what you're doing. You have to remain disciplined, and you have to have a strategy. For me, some of my strategies don't really work out well, but in the end, they work out. It all works out together, right? I expect everything to be positive, but I know everything's not going to be positive. So certain plays may be down, honestly, hundreds of dollars. But the point is that as it gets down to a lower level, I know that now I can average into that, not just into that play, but at a new leverage position. And if it's at a certain support level, I know that I can add maybe at a little bit higher of a leverage. It could be a 10x leverage this time instead of 5x leverage, and then make not only all that money back, but also money on top of it. So I love it. I love leverage trading. I've been doing a great job with it so far, and I want to continue this because I've made literally thousands upon thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars at this point. But again, I understand it's very, very risky, super risky. 100 people watching. Let's hit that like button. Yes, we got 116 people watching. I will keep on buying XRP and keep it until 2035. Yeah, I mean, I'm good with a hundred thousand that I have. Some people said that I don't have 100,000, but if I go over to my assets just to show you guys, I have 100,000. I did recently remove all of the CRO from this portfolio. It's still in my possession. I actually have more. I bought a little bit more. I'm going to put out a video today about that. I moved all of the CRO over to crypto.com, even though you have the spreads and everything that's going on there. But yeah, I have 100,000 XRP, so don't say that I'm lying or anything. But this portfolio now, I'll be able to fully track the $10 a day, right? I'm buying $10 a day worth of crypto.com coin or Chronos coin. And this is where I stand at 1,300. Let me go over here. $1,364 dollars or 15,000 that's sitting over here. I have over 300,000 that's sitting in my crypto.com wallet. And then I have like 30 or 40,000 that's sitting in my DeFi wallet. Um, which the DeFi wallet has been pissing me off lately. And the reason why it pissed me off is because they had an update, and it seems like my code that I created is not working. I don't know if it's because of what they did here, but they switched up the numbers. So the number pad. It gives you different numbers every time. Um, and as you get different numbers, you have like the one that's here, and then the next time the one is up here, and the next time the one's over here, and you have to put through whatever your code is. And when you put through that code, for some reason it's not working for me. I don't know. I know my code. We'll see. I want to I want to see how that works out because I can't collect um, my CRO that I gained through staking. But anyways, like I said, I was gonna show you. I have 100,000 XRP, a 1 million Jasmine coin still. I have 50 Solana. I have 220 AVAX. I'm gonna probably add more to that as well. Um, Harvest Finance, I have 100. That's sitting at $45. I want to see that grow a lot more, but it's sitting at $45 per coin. CRO or sorry, Krill coin as well. I want to see a lot of these things move, but again, it's not altcoin season yet. Bitcoin is at 55% dominance. 55%. XRP is pumping. Let's see. Let's go over here. Let's go to XRP. Or is that just like, oh, it is. It's up to 65 cents. It hasn't broken this level yet, right? So from 10 p.m. yesterday, which is the 66 level, it's up past 65 cents, but it needs to break the 66 level. We need to see it break 70 cents. Would love to see that. We're currently seeing about $2.6 billion worth of volume. We're currently at a $36.6 billion market cap. My balance is at 65,000, which again, let's go ahead and go back to XRP. You can see that my all-time profit is about $12,000. Total return today is $3,000. So, and it's 43% of my portfolio. That's a massive amount. Does anybody here have a certain amount that they plan on holding forever? Let's be honest. How much you plan on holding forever versus how much you plan on holding for certain selling points. You say don't leverage trade, you will lose. I mean, if you have that mindset, you definitely will. If you if you kind of play it more of a long term rather than a short term play, I feel like you have a little bit more of a chance of success than trying to time the market in the best way possible. But if you know what you're doing short term, you could also make a crap ton of money just doing it that way. I like to play it more a little bit longer term than just one day or just one week. I look at it with like eyes to where if I gain a 300% gain in what I had, I take my initial investment plus a little bit of profit, leave the rest in there and let that ride, right? That's kind of what I did with Jasmy Coin. Um, like with this play here, let's go back here. With this play here that I'm up 4,800%, I already took $700 plus, $750 worth of profit. That's worth of profit off of a literally a $60 investment total. Um, and now we're sitting on, I don't even know how much that is in Matic. It's got to be less than $18 because the Matic is less than $1 per coin. Um, but I have 18 Matic that's invested there, and I'm up 4,800%. So I've been able to just sit on that and have $1,000 off of a $60 investment, $1,700 that I would have gained. If I would take it right now, that's $1,700 worth of a gain off of a $60 investment. And that's not because I always invest 50x leverage. It's because it was like it did crash to a lower point. And typically, when you see those crashes, usually they come after a larger increase. When you see those crashes coming, you need to make sure that you're already taking profit. And every single one of these, this one I already taken my initial investment as well. I've taken my initial investment plus profit in Solana on one of my videos that I just put out. LTC, I will take profit in one of these LTC plays and leave one in there. But I mean, I don't know. I can't say that you will lose, but there's always a chance with everything that you are investing in that you will lose, right? But it's just how much do you lose? Do you lose less than what you've gained? Because no matter what, you're going to have a losing play. I have losing plays all the time, but my losing plays are a lot less than my winning plays. Leverage trading is fine if you don't let your emotions take over. You have to stick to the fundamentals. Absolutely, I agree with that. Sometimes when people maybe invest too much money or make a mistake in what they're investing into, like they don't know what they're doing, they let their emotions, get into it. And what you need to do is practice, 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 and then your emotions don't get into it because you know what you're doing. Move XRP to Ledger or any cold wallet. Do it now. I'm not going to do that. There may be a point to where I move a certain amount, but some of this XRP and honestly, a lot of the XRP is for um, not necessarily the short term, but for certain price levels. But then you will have a certain amount that's a forever amount of XRP. And that may be 10,000, that may be 5,000. But the point is that I will have a certain amount that will sit forever for XRP. Um, and hopefully get to the level that everybody or a lot of people believe that's going to get to, which would be 1,000, 10,000, $30,000 worth of value, which would be insane, but it would be also insane to have multiple thousands of XRP during that time period. um, do you believe XRP? Wait, do you believe in the XRP buyback? I do. The reason why I do is not necessarily because of like a ton of, backing behind this information. It's more about the the pushback from the Fed, right? Because if you think about it, whenever if if they would do some sort of a buyback or if that was an option in a way, um, the Fed wouldn't want us to all hold XRP and be the Fed ends up buying it back from us, right? They'd rather buy it back from, an institution or corporation or something that they can, whatever. They're not going to buy it back from us and give us kind of the in, like, hey, this is insider trading. We're going to buy that back. So the fact that they're denying it and how people are saying that that wouldn't be a thing and it doesn't make sense and all of this stuff here, it makes me it makes me believe in it more. Um, but it's not something I'm banking on. That's the thing. Is I believe in it, but I don't bank on it. So when I see XRP getting to a level of $10, $20, $50, $100, I see that as definitely feasible when you look at the market cap there. But then if you take out market cap and you're like, market cap doesn't matter, well, now you start to get into those higher levels and bigger use cases. Because if you think about it, let's say XRP is the flow of money, right? And if we just look at the U.S., what we have two trillion dollars in circulation. We're talking about $2 trillion that it needs to make up as that, not transactions by any means, but just making up that. We're talking about we can have the same dollar go through multiple transactions to get to $100 in those transactions in a given day, right? And if we had that where that does happen and every single dollar does 100 transactions across the board, you're looking at multiples of what we're looking at here. But if we're just looking at, say, a third of the $2 or $3 trillion, let's say it's half of 2 trillion, and we're looking at the $1 trillion dollars in circulation, and we utilize XRP for that. In order for XRP at 100 billion coins to get to that value of $1 trillion market cap, it would need to be at a $10 price point. So that minimum, that's $10. You look at a level of 2 trillion, right? Now you're looking at a $20 price point in order to get to a $2 trillion market cap. Well, now you're talking about the flow, right? You're talking about the flow of money and how much is going to be utilized, how much is going to be stored. Well, and now you're starting to look at multiple trillions of dollars, multiple tens of trillions of dollars through transactions and utilizing XRP as the fastest, most secure, and cheapest option to go about, right? And everybody's utilizing it eventually, maybe in 2030, 2035, 2040, whatever that is. But now XRP is heavily utilized in banks, in just regular people's pockets and smartphones and all of that stuff. You're looking at multiple hundreds of dollars that this gets to at this supply level of a max supply of 100 billion. Now we don't even know if that's going to be the case. We might see all of that supply get burned off or get discarded or something, right? We never know, because I know the government feels some type of way about making XRP as valuable as it would be and as usable as it would be, while having Ripple be in kind of control of 44% of the entire supply. They don't want that. Of course, that's what they don't want. So the one thing that I think they're going to get out of this is clarity behind the escrow amount. Because if you get clarity to say that it's either released, it's burned, it's dropped off, it's given to the government, whatever, then you will see the clarity on what the overall supply will be, as well as how that new supply will be used. Does that make sense? So I think the sky's the limit with XRP, and that's what makes it very interesting. The unknown is what makes it super interesting. So that's the way that I would put it. And I know that's a long-winded answer to say, do I believe in the buyback? But at times, yes. XRP unlock bullish, by the way. It helps spread more liquidity. I'm honest. Wait, I am honest? I hope you're saying, you know what? I'm going to read that as honest. I will sell 50%. I will sell 50% of my XRP when I reach around $10 and the rest years later. It's a good point. I mean, I feel as though when people start seeing the level of gains that they have, it's going to change their mindset. That's why you always want an exit plan behind it, but it does feel a certain way. Like if you have $100,000 in this, if you make $100,000 off of it, it's going to feel great. For a normal person to make $100,000 in one shot, of course, you're going to be like, all right, well, you know what? I need to take this. And I don't blame you. I wouldn't be upset with you. I wouldn't say that you need to hold for, dear life. You don't need to hold forever. 1,000 is my holding. Got you. XRP back to 55 cents after dilution. When in August? You think there's going to be dilution? They're going to add all of the supply in August? I mean, that's interesting. It could be to where they add all the supply at the end of the lawsuit. If they do, it's never going to be to a point to where I get scared of this, but if it finds a way to come down to a level of half the value that it is now, or it stays at the value, it stays at the market cap, like a higher market cap. So like if it's at 65 cents now, and then you see the conclusion of the case, they add all the supply and it ends up increasing the price a massive amount because of the conclusion of the case. But the market cap, um, or the price stays the same, but the market cap increases because it's holding its value, even though they add all the supply. If it doesn't and it decreases down, of course I would absolutely love to have the opportunity to hold 1 billion, 1 million coins, not 1 billion coins, 1 million coins. But I can't say that I would go all in on spending all of my money on that. I would love if it's at a lower price so I can buy 1 million, because I damn sure would buy 1 million. I would try to as best as I can if it got down to those prices. But I don't think it will. I don't think it, even if it did, the lowest price you can expect to see is a level of 30 cents at those levels, because it would be half of where we're currently standing. But yeah, I don't see that happening. Which hardware wallet do you use? I don't have any hardware wallet right now. He's always clickbaiting for no reason. Me? This is one of your better titles, not the $1,000 XRP clickbaits. I'm not trying to clickbait anybody. It's the conversation that I want to have. Obviously, it's not about that. What it's about is having that conversation and what I believe. You can say that it's clickbait all you want, but it's what I believe in. And I don't care. It's not to sell you guys on XRP in any way. It's what I believe in. I could care less if you buy XRP. I could care less if you hold it. I care less if you sell it. What I care about is what I believe in, and I'm going to put out any type of video that I want to put out. Because you want to know why? I built this channel, as for the last 5 years, 6 years, since 5 years, since 2019. So yeah, I can kind of put out any content that I want as long as I believe it, right? And it's my projects, um my coins that I'm buying. It's my money that I'm putting forward. I'm not saying this just to get people to buy XRP. That's not going to matter, right? I don't have the influence to push XRP more billions of dollars. Like, maybe, if anything, I have the ability to push any position by a good maybe $20,000. Like, there's no way that I'll have any impact on the push of XRP, in any way. I mean, that's why you don't see Coinbase reaching out to me um for sponsorships or anything like that. I wish they did, but whatever. All right. Well, pretty cocky, buddy. I don't care. I don't care. It's my positions. I'm buying it. Leave. You don't have to watch it. This is the thing. You don't have to watch the videos that I create. You could go somewhere else. Uh, Tell them not clickbait is crazy. It's literally a matter of YouTube. I mean, it's not about it. The click through rate is what YouTube's all about. Um, but I literally posted a video to where I didn't put even a thumbnail, and you're thinking that all I care about is clickbait. These are healthy discussions. I mean, sometimes. Um, That's how you keep your subs. How I keep Look, if you think that all I care about at this point is subs, then you sadly mistaken. Um, I care about, teaching people in so many different ways to have their money work for them. Doesn't mean that they have to go with the investments that I'm making. No. Doesn't mean that they have to go with the platforms that I'm talking about. No, you don't. It would be great if you did, because obviously the way that I'm making money is through these platforms. Um, but you don't have to do everything that I'm out here saying of what I do, right? Um, it's just an example. You can go out and invest into just primarily ETFs if you want. Feel free to do it, but make your money work for you. Matt, when they hate means you're doing great. That's true. That's very true. I got 4,300 XRP. I'm going to get another 1,700 tonight. Is it worth it? At the moment, I feel if I buy, then I'm buying the hype. That is true. Um, I don't like to sit here and tell people when to buy or when not to buy, right? Because XRP is at a higher price, 65 cents. Obviously, for the long term, it's not even going to matter. But it's just, can you look at that and go, I'm making the right decision? Because we know that the crypto market has its, ebbs and flows to the market, ebbs and flows to whatever the position is itself. And typically, when something is running in the market, you see it play catch up with the rest of the market, which is kind of inherently negative right now. Um, so it's not just a conversation of like, are you going to be happy with the fact that you can gain so much in the end, but also having that conversation of like, I can also get more XRP if it was at a lower price. So that's totally up to you. I try to buy at every level. I bought at 65 cents. I bought at 60 cents. I bought at 50. I bought at 40. I bought at 30, right? I buy at kind of every single level because it's not about me. Well, at one point, it wasn't about me holding a crazy amount of XRP. It was about me just holding XRP. And now it was about me holding 100,000 XRP, and I was given the opportunity to gather more as we saw it at a way lower price. So I ended up taking that. No, Matt, I'm copy trading. I'm in the copy trading group on Margex. All right, so that's great. Thank you for being a part of that. I'm looking to, be. I wanted to be a little bit more risky with, the copy trading that's there, but I also have a strategy of averaging into it. So as we see lower prices in things that are going to make a move in the altcoin season, it's more about the longevity of things, more about long term. I've invested a total of 3,300 into there of traders equity versus the overall equity that's there, which is like 7,000. I'm going to continue to invest more and more money into there for my own, equity that I put, um, and just continue to take the gains and just put that back in there as well, um, just to see the growth of it and also give it more opportunity. I will continue to add to it, um, as we see, some of these like lower level areas, and if we have some losses that are in there, I plan on supplementing them with obviously gains at lower levels. So when it hits a certain support level, like right now, AVAX's different support levels, which have been weird at times, showed that it was like 27. Obviously broke through that and now is down to like 26. 25 looks like a massive support level, which I will throw another investment in on. I did put another investment in today, that gave me a liquidation point of $21. And the lowest point there that it's been in so long has been $22. So I feel like that's going to be a strong bouncing point. And if we do see that, I probably will put through um, 50x leverage at 20 or $30, and then let that ride up to a level of like $100, hopefully. Um, and that's really my plan there. But yeah, I appreciate you being a part of that. Um, you're saying at least Matt doesn't make 2 videos a day on ship. I mean, it may be a couple of videos a day on XRP, just to kind of get through some things. But I want to I wanted to make a video on SHIB, I think a while ago, might have been like a week ago, and I ended up deciding not to because I already had like 3 videos for that day. Um, and it's so difficult to because I can make a full video going through the entire market, but it doesn't really speak to it speaks to everybody, but it doesn't really have a selling point to everybody. So, you know, some people might not see it because YouTube won't push it as like a specific position. So it's kind of difficult. So now like you'll do specific positions versus others that may do all encompassing type of things. And I would love to do that eventually. Nice to watch your journey. Love your humble nature from Australia. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Matt, love the content. Keep up the good work. Brother, when do you think the case will be settled with Ripple and the SEC? From what I'm hearing, um, there's like a um, end of summer, beginning of fall type of um, mindset or attitude. Like September time period is like the max level from what I hear. And again, they also brought up the fact that at the end of last year it should have been settled. Right, November was a date to where they were going to settle it. They had a settlement offer. The SEC pulled that settlement offer, and then everything fell through for basically another year. Um, which I honestly didn't expect that either. I expected everything to be settled in April, and in April we obviously had more back and forth and more disagreements to where they were looking for $2 billion instead of the 770 million that they were looking for in the beginning, or 700 plus million. And then there was a huge discussion on like whether it should be $2 billion or it shouldn't be. Then obviously Ripple thought it should be 10 million or 20 million, no more than 20 million. Um, so I'll probably go with that. I would love to see it in this next month in August, but September seems like let's say by the end of September will be that time period. I would love to see it literally this week, but you know obviously that there's a lot of information that's behind closed doors that I can't see, and nobody and a lot of other people can as well. I own 80,300 XRP. I don't know when to sell. That's my problem. Now, if it hits a level of $1, I make 45 grand profit. How do you not take that? I understand it's so difficult. Like if you look at some of the profit that I do have, and honestly, I've taken some profit. If I look at my portfolio that stands here right now, um, scroll here. Some of the areas where I've taken profit, like I've already taken $30,000 plus worth of profit in Vitalik Smart Gas. I haven't taken any profit in Jasmy Coin here, but then GameStop I've taken 15,000, and it's when you see it, it definitely is a different animal because if you are not used to gaining that much, that's where you're like you kind of have to take it, but then you feel horrible about you taking that when it does end up rising even more, right? Because the same thing at the same token, like you're buying, you're selling, you're gaining a profit, you're happy with it, but then you're also now that person that sold 10,000 Bitcoin way too early. Even though they were at a profit, you're that person that sold Bitcoin way too early. And now if you would have held that 10,000 Bitcoin to today, you would be, a multi-millionaire at this point. Um, so it's kind of like, what do you do? Typically, I tend to take percentages. I tend to take what I'm happy with accepting, rather than taking everything that's there, right? Because there's a lot of people in the stock market that would love if they could just double their their investments. You put in $100,000, if you could double it to 200,000, you would love that. In a matter of a year, 2 years, it'd be fantastic, and you would probably take that profit and run with it. Um, but there's a lot of people that can't do that, right? Most people take the conservative route where you're gaining like 5%, 10%, and you're happy with that. Um, so it's tricky. I could tell you that anytime I see it, there's a certain level that I look at and I'm like, all right, it's at $25,000. It's up $25,000. I can take $10,000 and leave the rest in there, and then I'll be happy with the fact that I have a $10,000 gain no matter what. And maybe that's what you want to do, right? If you're up $45,000, maybe you want to take your initial investment, and then you don't have to worry about that investment at all. If your initial investment is low, then maybe you take your initial investment plus profit. Um, so I don't know what to tell you. It's totally up to you and what you see within it. And if it speaks to you like, hey, you need to take this profit, then take it, and don't be upset when you take it. Why is the SEC is sort of wait? Why the SEC is sort of against crypto? Honestly, I don't know. They feel like, and maybe this is just a point. This is not really why they're upset with it. There's there's so many places to hide your crypto and kind of not pay taxes on it. I think there have been a study, and again, I didn't look into this, but I read some comments about it. That in the last year, a lot of the outflow money into the crypto market and inflow money into like banks and stuff, or the outflow that they're paying, um, you're not seeing enough taxes associated with that, right? Some people, you may not even see the inflow back to your bank account. And if they don't see the inflow back to their bank account, they can't really capture what the inflow of money is from the crypto market versus the outflow. But they can see the outflow of what gets paid, or what's being utilized for crypto, but they don't see any inflow of taxes associated with it. It's like 20% of the money that's gone out to cryptocurrency, that's been transacted in cryptocurrency, has been actually paid in taxes, versus the 80% that people aren't paying on that they cannot even track. Right? It's very I mean, they could, but it will take so much manpower in order to track those transactions that it's like you have to pick and choose. You have to pick the people that make the most money, right? Millions and millions of dollars, to kind of be an example. Hey, we need to look at all of your transactions that went through MetaMask, that went through Trust Wallet, that went through Coinbase Wallet, that went through Coinbase itself, Kraken, KuCoin, Crypto.com, the DeFi wallet, so many different places, and you now have they now have no ability to fully track it, and it's just so difficult for them to do. Um, David Chop, a lot of talk from who Mart, but no answers. I've been answered. You know what? I don't even care at this point. I'm not even gonna answer anything. I'm just gonna go ahead and I don't even care. Thank you for subscribing. Um, Thank you for that answer. I do have a conviction. What are your short term um, month price predictions? Like 12, 12, 24, like 12 month or 24 month price predictions for XRP. Um, I would say I look at it by year and I go through it by decision, but I would definitely say that I'm looking for a um, $1 to $5 price this year. I would love to see $10. Obviously, as we get into 2025 and we see more of the altcoin season truly happening, um, I would love to see a lot more than that. So 10 to 20, 20 to 50, 50 to 100. But again, it's all depending on different things that are happening, different things that are developing. Can I take to court a bank for misleading information and keeping my crypto account frozen for 2 years? Um, a bank? Why would the bank keep your crypto account frozen? Is it based on the transactions that you sent, or were you talking about? Because I feel like the crypto account, wherever that is, that's the place that's freezing it. It's not the bank that's freezing it, right? Why come to hate? Y'all so weird on YouTube. I mean, it's fine. People, it's the world, right? People um love to hate when people succeed in any way. Um, I saw this person that was like they always root for the little guy until the little guy gets too big, and then when that little guy that just got big um becomes, very very successful, like he's happy about his success or she is happy about her success, they tend to kind of try and tear people down. There's always somebody that will hate on where you are, um, and that's kind of what they're doing. And I mean, for good reason. I don't know all the information, but with Mr. Beast, I mean, he's with all the things that are going on there. That's a huge situation, and the fact that he may have known or didn't know or was a part of it in any way is kind of like the looking for something to get him um, to tear him down, which is going to be difficult to tear down someone that has 300 million subscribers. I mean, it's going to be crazy. Um, you have so much influence. However, if YouTube decides to not show his content because of some sort of controversy or issue, well, he's a person that spends all the money that he receives. So then, if he's breaking even right now, his videos become less and less quality. Um, and then he also gets less and less views. So it might be a little bit difficult that's there. But I mean, people love to hate. That's kind of the main situation there. 10x will put XRP at the current market cap of Ethereum. Um, I think it should be worth more than Ethereum. I think XRP should be the number one crypto in the market and will be, in my opinion. $27 XRP first 24-hour announcement hits YouTube. This man keeps all his digital assets on exchanges. Yeah, I mean it's mostly what it's going to be is people that people that keep their money or a lot of their money on wallets. Yes, they only care about the security in the largest way possible, but they also have the most difficulty when it comes to short-term trades. Um, Short-term trades, and trust me, I keep all my or a lot of my digital assets on there, but it's not all of them. I just have a lot of it on there. And because a lot of it is going to be short term that I do take, but then when I do take those, what happens with that money is it doesn't stay on the exchange. After you take the profit in some of those areas, that money now goes either into your bank account. For me, it goes into my dividend portfolio, so it goes into that portfolio over there, which is currently at like $77,000. So it'll go into that portfolio for a long period of time to be able to collect dividends. It's not going into my bank account. It's not going into my wallet there. It's for short term profits, right? So like that's why I keep majority of it that's on exchanges, because if I'm over here on Coinbase and I'm like, all right, I have XRP, but I don't plan on keeping 100,000 XRP until $100. I don't plan on keeping 100,000 XRP until $1,000. At certain levels, I will take profit, and as I take that profit, it now goes off of the exchange, right? That makes sense. Um, but yeah, same thing goes with Jasmine Coin. Same thing goes with Solana and a lot of other plays that I have on here. He said if I had 100,000 XRP, I would be hated on too. I mean, maybe that's the reason, or maybe they just don't like me. Some people just don't like people, It's fine. I gotta check to see if these kids are awake. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. All right, I gotta go. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate all the people that are here. Um, we got 244 people that are here. Um, Maybe I can go and get them ready and then come back downstairs. Give me a few minutes. I'll probably come back downstairs. I want to stay live for a little bit. So I'll be right back. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Check out Margex if you guys want to while I'm gone, and also hit that subscribe button if you're interested. Um, any Let's see, is there anybody that could be a moderator? We don't have any moderators that are here. We have Jonathan Teo that's here as a moderator, but we don't have any moderators that are here. Um, oh, is it because you? All right, well, I guess if you're one of the people that's there that's hating, I'll just let you hate somewhere else. You can hate from afar. Uh, or create a new account that I will then ban again. I just got a 20,000 XRP, 22x leverage at this price. 22x leverage. It's kind of risky, isn't it? Um, so it's safe to leave on Binance, for example. Yeah, I think these exchanges are not wouldn't say too big to fail, but they're huge, right? And it's not about you leaving it on there forever. What I'm doing, like I said, is I'm buying my crypto on, let's say, Coinbase, using my Coinbase to then actively trade. And when I have, let's say, a certain amount in a gain that I want to take as a profit, I will now take that profit and then take it off the exchange. It's not about me holding it forever. Things that I'm holding forever, I will put over on, a either hardware wallet, or something, or cold storage, something, right? Um, I'll be right back. Give me a second. If there's anybody in there that you want to take out, Jonathan, feel free to, uh, just remove them. But yeah, and well, I guess you would have to time them out. I don't think you can remove anybody. But I'll be back in a couple of minutes. All right, so what's everybody up to? Let's see. I mean, these people were never on the stream ever, and just came here to bring negativity. I mean, it's cool. That's just how that works. We can get past it. And people are just be miserable and start trolling. I hate that kind of energy, especially when this guy is taking the time to share some insight with us. Most of us are here because we respect his opinion. I mean, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, and yeah, I like the people that are that are here that just appreciate my opinions in a way. I mean, it's not about you guys um, taking it 100% to heart, but you want to get multiple opinions when you're making an investment. I could tell you the hardest time that I've had investing was when I've had no opinions. Right when I didn't have that second or third opinion, it made it insanely difficult to invest. Who's being negative? It looked like he was asking about passive income, right? I don't know who you're talking about, but most of them, the people that were negative, were not. I feel like I get close to being blocked, but I just like giving my thoughts. I never want to offend anyone. I love you people. Well, thank you. Um, and there are some people that tend, but I recognize names at times, so I don't typically do that. And I like to have conversations, but people that just come here and just go, oh, clickbait this, clickbait that. It's like, why even bother? I'm not gonna bother defending myself or anything with you. I don't care. There's better things to talk about than to talk to somebody that literally just has something insanely negative to say right from the start. Um, yeah, I saw him or her. They were trolling. I've seen trolls trolling on XRP videos. Seems like they wanted to tell people about making wealth. Hmm. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you. Waiting for more great content. Well, I appreciate that. CTF's token been silent during these XRP pumps lately. They weren't being negative. I don't know. Hey, forgot that guy. Let's focus on, or forget that guy. Let's focus on XR Pizzle. Well, thank you, Sanders, for becoming a Money Makes Money member. I appreciate that. To be fair, your video thumbnails are always something crazy. I mean, not necessarily in my opinion. I think they're always something that's not necessarily the most realistic in a way, but goals are supposed to be something that's out of the norm. When you have goals, you have it completely out of the norm because my the level that I believe is going to get to, right? Or that I see as reality is the level that I'm accepting is going to happen, right? That's going to be where I'm going to take profit in certain areas. That's why I have profit taking strategies at these levels. But I also have some that I'm holding for a longer period of time for that expectation, for that level that is could be my ultimate goal. And again, that's just my ultimate goal. And people can say that it's not for them, but that just means that you're going to sell a little bit earlier, and that's fine. People said the same thing about um, you know Bitcoin getting to a $1 trillion market cap. Right? They said that there's no way it's going to be worth that much. It shouldn't even be worth 20,000. Why is it going to be worth 60,000 and 70 and 80 and 100,000? There's no freaking way. And now every person is saying that X or Bitcoin is going to get to $100,000 at least, if not $1 million. And are they insane to say that Bitcoin's going to get to $1 million? Probably not. I would say that's reasonable for them to look at. So I say, I'll have certain things that are out there, especially with the last couple that I've had, which are going on for like two more, right? Why XRP can get to $1,000 per coin, and you look at it and break it completely down. You say that it's definitely possible, and that's not where I'm putting all of my eggs into is to get to $1,000. However, I will hold XRP if it does make that journey to get to 1,000 or 10,000 or 30,000 or whatever, right? Um, so It's something I believe in, and I'm never going to back away from what I believe in just because other people don't believe in it or think it's not something you should even talk about. I will talk about it because it's what I believe in. That's why I said that like it's the channel that I built because of the things that I talk about for me specifically, not for anybody else. It's for me. I'm not selling, holding 22K XRP and some ETH. I agree with XRP Commander, the individual they referring to was not being negative or trolling. Yeah, I don't know who they're talking about. How much XRP goes um how much XRP goes 2024 2025? So many YouTubers said 15,000 to $35,000. Is this correct for the long term? Well, again, it's all depending on the things that do happen with it. It's not about just saying like, oh, it's going to get there no matter what. Because if this case goes kind of the opposite way, right, where they pay a large amount, um, obviously that hurts Ripple. It doesn't hurt XRP because XRP is already labeled as not a security. But you won't see that major push because they're paying too much, right? But then also what happens with the dilution? What happens with the escrow that's sitting there, right? What happens with banks that are partnering with Ripple? Um, what happens with those banks? Are they going to utilize XRP in that process? Um, and all of these things lead up to exactly what those prices can be. I'm not saying that it will 100% get to 15,000 or 30,000, right? If it does, fantastic. I have a certain amount that will be held there. But I have a certain point of reality, a certain point of expectation, and a certain point of max profit. I could tell you that my max profit that I have over there definitely goes to the level of like the $10,000 mark. Doesn't mean that it will hit $10,000. It doesn't mean that. Um, I believe that $100 is a definite, is definitely going to happen. As we start to approach, 200, 300, 400, 500, and up to 1,000, that's where we start to get a little bit on the side of like, if all of these other things happen, then we can get to those prices. So for me, um, I'm looking at a level between in the highest level, kind of a um, $100 and kind of giving you a large range, $100 to $1,000. So anywhere within there. Your channel gives me hope to keep holding. Hoping to come out $350 first order at $50. Is there sound right now? It says that it's on. Is this working? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me here? Yes? What the heck happened to this thing? Huh. Anyways, everything I was saying is that you're setting yourself up for these opportunities to be successful. And for all the people that are saying, like, oh, you'll never have to work again, you.
Speakers among U.S. donated $1.99 through Super Chat. No sound.
That came up like 12 minutes later. I wish it came up. Somebody liked it. Thank you for everybody putting no sound. I tend to look away from the chat so that I can continue the conversation. I don't know what happened to the microphone, but if it's still working, please let me know. If it's like choppy, let me know again. Is it clear or is it choppy or you got a thumbs up? Hopefully we're good. Now it's good. It's still worth putting XRP into now while it's pumping. In the long term, yes, but then again, you look at it, you're like, how much can I own? It's very clear. Okay, perfect. All right, because it looks like even on the screen, it looks like it's kind of choppy at the moment. So if it's clear, I'm good then. But what I was saying and what I was getting into, kind of honestly, very energetically, of course, I was wondering why we saw so many chats that were coming through, um, is the fact that just because someone says that we are all going to have Lambos or we're going to have um, uh, never have to work again.
Speakers among U.S. donated $1.99 through Super Chat.
Sorry.
Now it works.
Okay, so now we have Super Chat.
Standard donated €2 through Super Chat. No sound laughing face.
No sound laughing face. Well, thank you for the donations to let me know. I don't know why it comes up 12 minutes later. Elizabeth Warren muted. Maybe. But like I was saying, what I was saying is that XRP can give you the opportunity to become very wealthy, but it doesn't mean you never have to work again. If you set yourself up to never work again after the fact, by putting that money into the right places, the right areas, then uh, it would be 1,000 times better, right? Then you might set yourself up to never work again because you put it into maybe a dividend portfolio. You put it into the markets directly. If you make $2 million, you could spend that $2 million very easily. There are people that go very broke after winning the lottery because they don't know where to put the money, and they should take some of the money and put it into a place to where they could live off of it forever and never have to work again. But that's not necessarily the case in most cases there. So probably Gary Gensler attacked the stream. I sold some XRP. My bag's pumped, man. That's great. If you're making money off of it, I'm all for it. Congrats on hitting a quarter of a million subscribers. I don't think I hit a quarter of a million subscribers, not yet. I'm at 225,000. I think 225,000. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm at 225,000. I'm 25,000 away from hitting a quarter of a million subscribers. And it would be great to get there. It would be great to get to 500,000 and all of these other levels. But the growth of subscribers has definitely been lower because I haven't been live streaming as much. And some of these live streams have been the live streams I have done have been fantastic. I love live streaming. It's just so difficult for me to take the time to just live stream while the kids are upstairs and doing what they're doing. But when the kids are in school, which may be still a little bit difficult, when the kids are in school, I should plan to live stream during that time. So 250K subscribers. That's some R. Kelly math right there. I don't know what that means. Um, think about winning a think about winning a lottery and knowing about XRP. Oh boy, yeah. If you won the lottery and you know about what's going to happen with crypto in general, if I truly won the lottery, which I do play the lottery as well, I like to see what the statistical odds are on that. Um, if I do win the lottery, then it would be insane the amount of money I would have in crypto. Right now, absolutely, I would have so much in cryptocurrency, but there would also be a lot that's sitting over here. And honestly, I would want to do nothing but good with that money either way. Like once I set myself up for or set my family up to live on without me, even with just the accounts there, um, I would try and do so much good with that money. I really just want to help people as much as possible. False fraudulent information provided to the bank, and they mislead the case for 2 years. Even they admitted that is their fault for not solving the case faster. Got it on tape, recorded in bank. I don't know what you're talking about here, but I'm sure it has some, validity to it. Long-term Solana predictions. I mean, $1,000, $2,000. I have Solana and I have a decent amount of it. I don't have a crazy amount. I have like 50, I think. Um, but it can go a long way. As it hits a level of, $1,000. That's $50,000, or $2,000, which could be $100,000. That's a possibility. And with Solana ETFs that are going to be coming, XRP ETFs that are going to be coming, we're going to see massive movements in a lot of these positions. But we're going to see more movement when we have an all-encompassing ETF rather than just a single ETF. I understand the dynamic of what this ETF does. It's not about like, being invested in multiple things. Like a standard ETF, when you look at it, you're like, I want to be a part of everything, not just one thing. So you invest into kind of the market in a way. You can invest directly into the market, you can invest whatever. But when you look at a Bitcoin ETF, it's primarily following Bitcoin. You look at an Ethereum ETF, it's primarily following Ethereum. Same thing with Solana, same thing with XRP, same thing with everything else. However, once you do get an all encompassing type of thing to where it follows kind of the entire market, and maybe it's primarily Bitcoin, a smaller portion worth of Ethereum and whatever, that's when you'll have a ton of success with these ETFs. Right now, it's all about, having traditionalists and people that are not invested into the crypto scene or the crypto world in Coinbase or Kraken or anything, have that ability to invest directly with cryptocurrency, but not necessarily directly in that cryptocurrency itself, if that makes sense. Can you make another video on VSG token, like the analysis you do on the project? I mean, eventually I still have VSG. I think I have 1 million VSG. I really don't have a uh, crazy amount of it, but I still do have 1 million VSG. Um, Matt, what's your opinion on Mamerum? Uh, the first insurance for the cryptocurrency. I think I did a video on. I think I'm pretty sure I did a video on that. Not 100% sure, but I don't know at this moment. I haven't looked it up to see where it's at. I remember watching Solana bottom at like $6.80 something, um, uh, and thinking this thing is dead. Didn't grab any. See, I saw it at those low levels. Fire King, first of all, I haven't been live in a long time, so but thank you for being here. Um, yeah, I remember seeing Solana at a level of 11, well, even lower than that, but I saw it at $11, and I was like, this thing still has a lot of life in it. And everybody else was like, this is dead. It's over. The hype in Solana is gone. It just doesn't make sense. And then um, I made that video. I was like, this definitely has a lot of potential left in it, and we'll get back up to the level of $200. And throughout that year, after talking about it, it grew back up to $200. Did decrease back down to about what was it, 140 that it got to at a low, or 120, and then increased back up to now what, a 190 or so. So um, yeah, would have loved to have made that move if I had money at that time, but I didn't have money. If I had the money that I had now, I would have invested a crap ton into that. I probably would have had a good 1,000, 2,000 coins of Solana, maybe even more. At a level of $11, yeah, I would have had a lot more. I'm personally 50% in memes and 50% in Jasmine for my portfolio now. I mean, if that's your plays, then go with that. I don't know what this person is saying. Oh, somebody's saying Milady a billion times. Um, yeah. Whatever your decision and how you want to invest, your style of how you want to invest, go ahead and do that. I like Jasmine coin. I like meme coins. Meme coins are more for like the short term of things. Like when it hits a certain price level, that's when people decide, oh, you know what, I need to get out of this play, and I don't need to, you know, get back into it. I just need to take my profit, right? It's about the profit in the meme coins. It's not about the utility. Um, Holy chat is booming. I don't know what that is, but this chat is not booming. It's great to see everybody here, but it's not booming any means. Matt, I'm one of your copy traders. Hope we do good. Yeah, in the long term, I think we definitely will. I have a strategy, a strategy where I have some that's never that I won't put in there until we hit, kind of lower levels. I think the total profit that we've taken by actually like realized profit has been somewhere around like 800 something dollars. However, I think um, the overall ROE is definitely getting down to a lower level because of where AVAX is going. I have one trade that's in AVAX that I wanted to supplement with another trade. And I think in the long term, we definitely will see massive moves. Even in the short term, I think we will see massive moves. But I'm looking for AVAX to definitely hit a level of 50 and $100 and so on and so forth, obviously, as well as Ethereum, seeing Ethereum run up to a level of 45 as well as 5,000 and all of that. So yeah, I'm hopeful for for this copy trading portfolio. You got to learn their games, their ups and downs. Been trading for 12 years. Takes time to let XRP mature and do its thing. Yeah, I mean XRP is um, if you look at the long term, it kind of looks like it just doesn't move, and it's because of the case, right? The case held it back from even having any type of an increase over the last bull run, and then now you look at it and you're like, it's kind of at the same price that it was then, and it's because the case has been the only thing that has been there the whole time. Let's just get to 10 first. Well, yeah, let's get to let's get to a dollar before we get to $2, before we get to $20 or whatever. Do you think 4,000 XRP is enough? Is enough for what? That's the question. And it all depends on if you're talking about enough to be a millionaire, um, it it will be I can't say that it'll be like super tough to get there, but it's definitely on the like lower side of how much you would need in order to kind of become a multi-millionaire or have $1 million, because you have to pay taxes and all that stuff. So Um, I want to keep a good 5,000 or 10,000 for the long term. Out of my 100,000, I want to keep about 5 or 10,000 for the long term. Uh, but yeah, I think it's enough to make a significant amount of money, life changing amount of money, and then also be able to use that money for now life changing decisions that you can make later. Um, Not just use the money for buying couches and buying a house, and maybe you want to use it. If you use it for buying a house, that could be a rental property, but or it could be a property that you fix up and sell or something. But it could start so much in your life. Is the SEC versus Ripple over? Did we win? It's not over yet. No. Technically, XRP already won. It's the Ripple versus SEC that's the problem, which is Ripple is has to pay a certain amount in this fine. They did violate securities laws with their sale to institutions, right? Um, but it's just how much do they have to pay? The beginning, it was just 700 plus thousand or 700 plus $1 million, which I say just uh, kind of weirdly here because now they were still looking to push for $2 billion, which didn't make sense to me at all. How it could increase over what you think they would have to pay. With where you started, you're like, all right, well, you know what? XRP should be a security, and they violated securities laws doing all this stuff. Everything included, you're like 700 million. Now XRP is not labeled a security. The charges are dropped from the CEO and the chairman, but now you're like, you know what? Just because we dropped all those things, $2 billion. It's like they're the worst negotiators in the world. It's like have you ever seen Horrible Bosses where it's gonna be like it's gonna be 50 G's or something like that, and then he's like, oh no way, we're not gonna do 50 G's. He's like, all right, it's five grand now. He's like, 5 grand, $5,000. He's like, I'll take that. It's like you must be the worst negotiator in the world. Yes, yes you are. Um, $3.84 all time high probably won't get there this run. I don't know. I would disagree. I feel as though you're looking at the all time high one before the I believe that was before the case even happened. When was this? Because the case happened in December of 2020. The all time high was 2018, which was yeah 2018, which was $3.84 for XRP, and that was also when they had a much lower supply and when cryptocurrency wasn't as popular as it is right now. I feel as though with use, ETF, clarity, altcoin season, I would say that uh, $5 to $10 in this year is definitely possible in this bull run. Um, looking for a lot higher than that. Hoping for a level of $100, but anywhere between 20 and 100 would be fantastic. Um, when it gets to $10, I have now $1 million. So what do I then do at that level, right? Um, Take a certain amount at that level. I don't think I have a plan on taking some at um, $3 or $5, but I have to go back and check my plan to see what that is. But I believe it's going to get to $10. I believe it's going to get to $20. So um, what do you see there and what do you do there? If it gets closer to that level towards let's say the end of 2025, let's say somehow um, we get through 2024 and we only see it at a level of $1, maybe $1.50, and then it ends up increasing over 2025 and we see it at $5 or whatever. And you have $500,000 and you see it closer to the peak of, let's say, the bull run or peak of altcoin season, and the crypto market is worth $10 trillion. Um, but XRP doesn't make it up to those levels to be worth a crazy amount. If it doesn't, let's say it doesn't, um, well then that's where you're like, do I sell um, a lot of my XRP because we're at the peak of the bull market, right? And then how do you also understand exactly what the peak of the bull market is? So all these questions really come into play when you start to get closer and closer to that peak. Um, But right now, we're not close to that peak. We haven't even seen altcoin season start. Um, this is a time to go all in. XRP, let's go. I wouldn't say that this is the time. So the case is basically over and XRP won. Good stuff. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, XRP already won. It's just um, Ripple just needs to know how much they're going to pay, and obviously they don't want to pay a lot. They spent like $150 million on this case so far, just representing themselves. So they think, you know what, $10 million, $20 million is okay. They wanted seven. They wanted $700 million, but I'm sure the SEC spent a lot of money, and the lawyers and time and all of that stuff there, investigators, whatever they spent, it may be $150 million there. So now they're like, you know what? If we even get $150 million or we get $700 million, we're minus $150 million or $200 million. So now we're looking at $500 million. However, they don't even think they're going to get that. But if they somehow get, what it's probably going to be is there's going to be a settlement in between that's going to pay for all of their legal fees. And so that it's more of a break even plus $20 million. So maybe it'll be somewhere around, let's say, 100. It'll be $100+ million of a payout. That's what I think it will be, because it, like, they already spent a crazy amount of money. If they make $20 million from this, technically they lost. Let's say it cost them $100,000, or $100 million. They get paid $20 million. They spent, basically $80 million in order to go through with this lawsuit and not end up making any money out of it. But maybe getting some clarity, or did they even want clarity to begin with? So you got to think of it like that. Now us XRP cult don't seem so dumb. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we ever really seem dumb. It's just certain people. And I'll tell you the truth. I looked at XRP maybe, I don't know, 2 years ago, definitely in the bull market, as more of a day trader's dream. Right? That's what it was all about. And people have called me out on it. They said, "Look, you were all about XRP day trading," and I was like, "People can change their mind." I mean, I looked into XRP more, and it was more than just what the chart showed me. It was a lot more than that. And that's why I got on the XRP train. That's why I have majority of my 48% of my crypto investments into XRP. Um, and that's just because of the fact that I saw so much in it. But in the past, I saw it as a day trader's dream because of the movement of XRP going from, let's go all the way back here. Let's see if we can go back a certain amount. We would go from a lower amount of like 10 cents, or actually, you know what, this is before that. 10 cents, 20 cents, all the way up to a level of $1.90, back down to 60 cents, back up to $1.20, back down, back up, back down, back up. We saw this movement in here, and I was like, this is a day trader's dream. I can make so much money from this. But it's it's not about day trading. It's about the long term aspect of it, and so many different uses that XRP will have, not can have, but will have. I normally don't like touching on politics, but if I find sus that Trump's opinions on Bitcoin and crypto has flipped so significantly, I wouldn't believe anything they say about it until you see it happen. It's very true. I was looking at this and I was going back in different elections, and there's a lot of things that people are for one election, but just because this is a major topic in grabbing the vote, this is the only reason why they talk about that thing or believe in that thing. But then when they get into office, nothing happens related to that thing. And I'm not going to go through different things because they're controversial topics and situations that you don't want to have conversations on right now, still controversial. Um, but with crypto, there's people that are for, people that are against crypto. Obviously, I'm for crypto, and I believe if we can see both sides that are looking into crypto and getting questions about cryptocurrency, this is where we know that there's going to be major change, or at least um, have an impact within that presidency. You know, so I'm not for politics either. I'm not for talking about, but I am pro good idea. So if I believe crypto is a good idea, that's something that I'm going to continue to push or believe in or be a part of in a large way. So um, I know that both camps are pro crypto as of now, um, but we'll see. The chart looks like a rug pull. What chart looks like a rug pull? XRP looks nothing like a rug pull. The only thing that I've actually seen that looks like a rug pull that's not a rug pull is Jasmine Coin, right? Because of the dilution that's happened within it, from having basically 0% of the supply that's out there all the way into having 99% of the supply. Yeah, it looks kind of horrible in how much supply they truly do have and the prices that it did hit. Um, but we know that some of these prices, I really don't think that, or look at the fact that $5 is really an option anymore in Jasmine Coin, but still can be a thing. I'm just not looking at it that way. I see it at a level of $1 to $1.50, and that would be a 50 to $75 billion market cap. Uh, XRP is not for retail. It is a banker's coin. What do you mean by that? That chart, oh, you said that chart looks like a rug pull. I don't believe that. Where do you see Jasmine topping out in this next bull run? Oh, I just answered that. I'm looking for $1 to $1.50, anywhere between there. If Jasmine hits $1, I'm getting a G wagon. I was telling Erica that that the because she has a new Telluride, and she loves it, and my car's is like 2020. We have both of them paid off, and we're happy about that. We don't have to make any car payments or anything like that. I was telling her, I was like, the one thing that I want to kind of splurge on myself, which, pause for a second, uh, would be that I would like a um, what's called a Cybertruck, a blacked out Cybertruck. And she was like, I don't want one of those things. And I was like, I kind of want one. I really do. Like I saw a matte black one that was like 110,000. I think they were going for like 75 at in the beginning, like, and how much they wanted to sell it for, but I think they're now going for like 100, 120. But that's the only thing that I really want, one to like kind of gift to myself, because I don't really give myself anything besides experiences of like playing golf and going different places. I don't care for all that stuff, all the extra stuff. So I would just like a Cybertruck. Park that in the front of the house. Just get it, man. Life is short. I don't want to get it now. I don't want to get it now. We're in a great spot when it comes to being financially. We don't have any car payments. We have no loan payments. We have no credit card payments. We just have the mortgage, and um see, that's the difference though. It's like, do you want to spend the money on a Cybertruck, right? Or would you want to put a down payment on a new house, on building your new home? And that's something that Erica said she wanted to do, is build another home, because we built this one. Um, but it was 200,000 when we bought it, and now it's worth a lot more. Um, with all the additions and also the market skyrocketing. Um, but at this point, we feel like we've run out of space. They need to lock up Jasmine Coin. Absolutely. I we need if we have a crazy amount of lockups in the process, then yeah, that price may definitely increase. Uh, yeah, Cybertruck in today's world is a must. Yeah, I mean, it looks great. The matte black Cybertruck. Have you seen those things? They look fantastic. Bro, I want a chopped Cybertruck. Those look sick. I haven't seen it. I don't know what that looks like. Chopped Cybertruck. But yeah, I was telling Erica, I was like, I want one. I really do want one. Just the one thing that I like. I didn't when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, I should probably pre-order it and all of that. But obviously, I thought like I wouldn't have the money for it at that time. Honestly, I would have, but um, it would have been great. It's great not to spend that money in that place. What is it? Chop Cybertruck. Oh, with like you chop it off as like a convertible. Why does someone have a? Oh, they put a picture of a hot dog there because they almost chopped their finger off.
Sneakers Among US donated $1.99 through Super Chat. They need to lock up $Jasmy coin.
You can get it when Jasmine hits $1. It's sad my country doesn't have the Cybertruck. You can always get it shipped there. The Cybertruck with a gas turbine generator in the back. So that defeats the purpose, right? Of saving the environment. You're not doing that anymore. Um, is there a specific reason why XRP is up right now? Any news on the settlement? There's no brand new news on the settlement. I've been looking up things to see if there's something, but it's more about the speculation as to kind of not knowing what's happening. That's kind of leaving it up to kind of chance. And then when you see true confirmation of what has happened, it will either increase more or it will decrease, to bring it back down to whatever they seem as reality for not knowing or not being at a settlement point. Because we had that closed door meeting where a lot of people still don't know the information that came out of that, and if there was settlement talks, if you've leaned on a different price, if like anything has happened, we don't know any of that information. So without knowing that information, it kind of leads people to speculate, oh, you know what? We may be close because we're not seeing any negative news. Typically, if something negative is going to happen, that gets out a lot faster than anything positive that's going to happen. So they're looking at it like that with like, I don't know what's going to happen, but no news is better than some news because if we had some news, it would be negative because the good news would come out later. Does that make sense? So that's kind of where that comes from. In my opinion, it's not confirmed, but that's what I've seen in the past. Uh, they have a plan. Indeed, the team doing great work. Cybertrucks are pretty cool. Do you have any interest on Bone? Um, like from like the Shiba Inu community, like the ecosystem. I don't have any interest on Bone right now because I don't know like sorry, the whole reason for having Bone was to be a part of Shibarium and to have a massive impact there. And the fact that Shibarium is not seeing as much volume as it was before, I can't say that that's really going to have that same push, right? They're not burning Shiba Inu anymore. They have something held. I don't even know how much they have, but they should have a crazy amount over there. But they're not burning Shiba Inu there. We haven't seen any massive burns that have gone through there. They're not doing anything Shiba Inu related that's over there. We're not seeing a lot of volume that's over there. And Bone, you don't need a lot in order to even go through with a transaction. So you would need trillions upon trillions of transactions in order to have any type of impact, anyways. So um, I don't know. I don't necessarily see that. Did you get a new wedding band? No, I have the. Well, Erica got me one of these silicone ones that's like a Captain America thing. Um, and I lost it for a while because my real wedding band is not fitting me right now because it's so hot outside, so it's not fitting me. Uh, so I have this one on. I also have the Galaxy ring that's coming August 7th or something like that, and I'm gonna be wearing that on my ring finger, which they recommend doing it on your first finger, but I'm gonna wear it on my ring fingers just because it'll take over from my actual wedding band, and it's also at a half a size up than what I typically wear. So because it doesn't. They don't give you half sizes in that. They only give you full sizes. So we'll see how that does play out. But yeah, I have a new wedding band, which is a silicone one, so that I don't tear my finger off. Um, Lunic hacked for 5.3 million dollars or million Lunic. So it doesn't seem like a lot. Did you get a? Oh, I read that. I literally just read it. I'm 1,250 miles from home. Uh, Electric defeats the purpose of highway driving. Cybertruck is a toy. Works for me. Understood, I guess. Ripple has bought back 1.4 billion of their own shares. They know what is coming. Interesting point. Thank you. I appreciate that. No problem. Don't spam. Yeah, people should not spam. So let's see. Is there anything that's happening in crypto right now that's very, very interesting? Any bigger movers? Anything there? Because Russia legalizes crypto mining and brings an experimental regime. Russia allows crypto payments and international trade to counter sanctions. Um, Russia approves laws. It's all about Russia. That's there. Lawsuit or SEC lawsuit against Binance. The SEC likely still believes Sol is a security, says crypto executives. SEC believes everything is a security. SEC intends to amend complaints, amend complaint in Binance case. And you also have Elon Musk suddenly breaks his silence on Bitcoin after issuing a shock US dollar something. Um, Crypto game hamster combat allocate 60% of token airdrop. Okay, that doesn't seem like that's major news at all. Elon Musk suddenly breaks his silence after shock of the US dollar destruction warning that could trigger a crypto price boom. China's crypto ban fails to stop scams. Um, as a police arrest for suspects. So maybe they just shouldn't ban crypto. Didn't aren't they not banning crypto anymore? Isn't that like a thing where it's getting reversed? Do you think Shiba Inu is pretty much dead then? I don't think Shiba Inu is dead. I think it's gonna have the push to it. I just don't think that the levels that we all expected to see out of this in the beginning stages when we started looking at this, maybe I started looking at it in 2021, I think. um, Before it kind of blew up, that's where I made that investment. It ended up increasing up to a level of what was it, $50 billion market cap, something like that. I made an investment at 0.00002, and right now it's lower than that at like 0.0000 like 17 or something. So it's definitely lower than my cost basis, um, which means I could make an investment right now and be happy with the gains because I do think that it's still going to increase and we're going to see, a drop zero. It's just how far above that. It's just the levels that we all believe that it was going to get to was based on the fact that we were going to see burns. We were going to see the community burns, the ecosystem burns, the leader burns, all of that stuff, and we did not see kind of any of the top end burns. We saw the community burn as much as we did. Then when we burn things, the ecosystem didn't get behind those ways of burning, so those never caught fire at all. They actually died off pretty quickly because they were like everything that's burning out there is just trying to scam you out of your money, which was ridiculous. Um, so I don't think it's dead. I just think we're not going to see the levels that we've seen, you know, previously, or sorry, not previously, that we believed we were going to see previously. So when we're like, oh, this is getting to Shiba Inu is going to get to a dollar, it's going to get to a penny. It's like that all came off of the fact that we were going to see burns. We were going to see adoption. We were going to see not necessarily like major adoption, but being able to utilize it in many different ways because of the ecosystems, devs, and what they were doing. So I don't think it's dead. I still hold about $2,000 worth of Shiba Inu. Somebody said the settlement was leaked before. That's not true. So there's no meeting. Was somebody asking a meeting? There's no meeting today. A meeting already happened for SEC versus um, Ripple. Have you ever heard of CTF token on the XRPL and Matic? No, I haven't. Have you looked into ABT coin? I have a fat bag of XRP, so I'm only going to be accumulating from here for thoughts. I haven't looked into it. No. The biggest news story I know currently is that BRICS is creating their competitor to Swift. Um, there's a CoinDesk article on it. This is actually huge because it takes market share away from the US dollar. Huh. That sounds interesting. I'll have to, bring that up or at least look at it at some point. This was, this was updated on March March 2024, March 8th, 2024. So, um, that's interesting, but it's also something that's a little bit older. Has anything happened in regards to that more recently? There's speculation's another meeting tomorrow, August 1st. Speculations. I haven't seen that. I got 680 million Shiba Inu. Do you think I should get out and put it towards XRP then? It's whatever you want to do. So XRP is more about the use and the long term of it. Shiba Inu is not about the long term. I would have to just be completely honest. Any meme coin is about the price level that it gets to and the market cap that it gets to. And when it does get to those levels, there will be an immediate sell off at those levels to then set up the next run for that position if it's strong enough or popular enough to then have that second or third or fourth run, right? For Shiba Inu, it should have multiple runs, but it's all about hitting certain price targets in order to sell and gain a profit. That's all it is. And for an investor, that's all we really want is to be able to gain a profit. Um, but you also want that long term of it. All right. So it's been about 2 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here, and go and see what the kids are doing, spend some time with them, and then probably put some videos out. But Brad, thank you for showing up. Good morning for being here. Fire King, thank you for being here. Any moderator, I appreciate you guys for being here. Any subscriber, I appreciate you guys being here. Why do you just keep meowing? Just stop meowing. No, no. She just keeps meowing. What is she doing that for? You see this lady right there? Just don't stop. Just stop. Stop it. All right. See, I got to get out of here. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely check out my link for Margex. If you guys want to start trading on Margex, feel free to do so. That link is down there in the description, which, we're trading a bunch of different things. We're up, 3,000, 62%, 100%, 23%. And we also have a copy trading strategy as well that we're working on, seeing that growth, um, a lot more. So feel free to check out that Margex down below. You can trade as little as 20 cents if you wanted to start understanding and start learning how to trade. So I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.